Okay. So how many people you remember that procurement to pay cycle? We discussed so many times this process. Okay. So procurement to pay cycle. How many people know about this one? So the first step is
Purchase requisition.
purchase requisition. So purchase requisition is nothing but like a whatever we identify the requirements that we are creating in the as a requisition. So we requested that these are the materials which we required. So this purchase requisition will be created by store people or maybe from the cost centers and whoever they need, they will create the purchase requisition. So it is not necessary only MM team have to be create. Okay, if they have the access for the other people also, they can create the purchase requisition. So in this purchase requisition, what will be happen? So they will be create that whatever the requirement. Okay. So as we discussed earlier, so generally what you need, the what information we required if you want to be identify the requirement in the purchase requisition, we need material number, how much quantity you required, and when you required, that means delivery date, and the where exactly you required, the plant address. Can you go on? There was some disturbance. Yeah, please. Okay. So basically, we need this information. Okay, to create the purchase equation. So which material you required, how much quantity which is required, and when you required, and where exactly it is required. Okay. So in SAP we have transaction codes for each and every process. We have a transaction code. Okay. So by using this transaction code, you can go to the particular transaction what you need to be performed. Like I just need to be create a purchase requisition. So the I'm planning. So I'm going to the directly transaction code by using ME51N. Okay. So ME51N is the transaction code to create the purchase requisition. So you need to be remember one thing. So there are so many transaction codes you'll be getting once you are doing practicing. So you need to be remember these all transaction code. Okay. So if you not remember this transaction code, you can go on the part also. So there is a part also. You can go to part as well. Okay. So I will show you that part as well. So now ME51N is the creation of purchase requisition. So that means here we are entering that what is my actual requirement, okay, and how much quantity, how much delivery date and plant address, okay. Those details we are entering into the purchase requisition creation, okay. So when it is create purchase requisition number, if you created any PR number, purchase request number, so the system will be generated the one number, PR number, that is a reference number, which will be given that okay, this is the requirement you created, and this is the reference number. Okay, so if you want to be changed in the future, that means if suppose you added only one material, but tomorrow suddenly if you get that okay, I just need to be add some other materials, or you need to be change the quantity or something. Okay, then what you can go with the ME52N. ME52N. ME52N is a change purchase requisition. Okay, and if you already created and I want to only see that the what are the requisition we created, what are the materials which we created, anything, then you can go to display ME53N. This is the display. Okay, so most of the transactions like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 is creation, 2 is the change, and 3 is the display. Most of the transactions like metal mastercard, vendor mastercard, okay, purchase info card, okay, PR, PO. Okay, so most of the transaction it will be the sequence will be 1 will be create, 2 will be a change, and 3 will be display. Okay, and now the path will be the, so you can go to menu, just log in the SAP login pad. So hope you all have the uh, login pads, SAP login pads. Okay, if you don't have, just to get it the login pad as soon as. Okay, so please do the regular practice on, okay, whatever we're discussing on this one. So once you did some practice at least 10 days, 15 days after, so you'll be understand that, okay, these are the process we are performing. Okay, so now I just said, right, we can go directly transaction code. I can enter the transaction code here in the here. So I'll be entering that ME51N. So then it will go directly to the create purchase equation. Okay. So in case if I didn't remember that, so what you can go to in the menu, SAP menu. In the SAP menu, you can go to particular area, material management and purchasing and purchase equation, and create purchasing equation. So again, it will go to the same transaction code ME51N. Okay. So there is a two ways we can do it. Okay. Either you can go in the part or you can go directly in the transaction. So as a MM consultant, at least you should aware about the, at least you should remember that the basic level transaction codes, which is like purchase equation, purchase order, goods receipt, material master record, vendor master record, purchase info record. At least some of the transaction code you have to be by heart. Okay. So now, as I said that ME51N, I'm just going to ME51N to create the purchase equation. Okay. Now, so this is the purchase equation. I'm going to the purchase equation here. Okay, you can go directly in the by entering the ME51N. Okay. Now if you see that here the document type, it will give that what type of the requirement is one. Okay, if you suppose especially it is a cost center related, then I can create the own document type for the cost center. Okay, direct consumption document type. So I can create my own customized direct document type in the configuration level. Then I can use that document type. Okay, and so based on by looking into the document type, I can see that, okay, this purchase requisition number which is created especially for the direct consumption. Some cost centers, they need this requirement. So like you can use the number of document types you can create based on your requirement. So we have the standard document type for practicing purpose. You can use the NB document type. Okay, so NB document type is the standard purchase requisition. Okay, we can use for the any purpose. It's not only for the account assignment category. It's not only for the direct consumption. It's not only for the stock. Okay, it's not only for the raw materials, packing material like that. It's everything. Okay, we can use this document type for the any reference. We can create the purchase requisition number. Okay, so when we're discussing about the configuration, we'll discuss about that how to create this customized document type. So I said that here standard one is there, right? But there was so many Z sequences there. ZNB, ZNB1, ZNB2, ZNB9, like we have so many people they are created. So these are all customized. So we can perform this customized document type creation in the configuration level only. It's not at the transaction data level. So whatever we are doing here, it is a transaction. Okay. Now I just entered the document type NB, and since I didn't create any metal master record, right? I can take it up to any existing reference document types which SAP provided for a practicing purpose. So you can remember that, okay, in the for practicing purpose, you can take the material 100-100, okay, plant 1100. Okay, so this is
Sir,
for, yeah, please.
sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt you. So before going to this, maybe that you can explain about that enterprise structure, so that how we can configure that the enterprise structures and the material and vendor. So before, I mean, after that only we can if you are going in the purchase requisition and the purchase order creation, so we can use it for the same enterprise structure as well as like the same material and vendor for.
Yeah, correct. We can use, but you are in the at the initial stage level, right? Might be you are aware about this enterprise structure, everything, but other people they're not aware about, right? So what we are
That is
discussing
what.
first, yeah, what we are discussing first, we are going with the process step first. Okay,
Okay.
once they are familiar with the process step, then I will go into configuration. Then we will be creating. Then how we can use this enterprise structure in the process level, I can explain easily, right?
Yes. Okay.
So some people they're not familiar with the enterprise structure, right? So first we'll discussing about the process steps. Okay, at least 1 or 2 process steps once it is completed. So they will be doing the practicing. Then we can start with the customized one. We can create a new enterprise structure. We can use the standard plans and everything. We can use the same enterprise structure for the other process.
Yeah, I
Even you
agreed,
can
sir.
also
But
try.
yeah,
Even you
yeah, I
can
agreed,
also.
sir.
Yeah.
If you are why I am saying that, if you are creating that enterprise structure, like so the same we can use it for that.
Yeah,
Maybe
agreed. I agree.
uh,
But
yeah,
the what I'm saying here, the initially whatever the interest when they are doing practice, okay, later it might be they will not be have the much so much that interest. So the initially we will be explaining about the important points and important process and all. The enterprise structure and all, it is a very small configuration, right? So they can even uh, after 1 week or 2 weeks also. Okay, if we do it, so they want to be try with the new thing they want to be try. Okay, so
yeah.
that's why if you want to go with enterprise structure, I
No,
can
I'm
go ahead.
not sure other person maybe that can able to understand, like we can keep it like the plant, and maybe the plant as a the standard plant as a 1100 like that, and the company is a 1000 like that. I'm not
Mhm.
sure about it. That is what I'm just asking this. If you so
Okay.
maybe you can check with the people and we can go ahead. No issues. I'm just
No,
telling that.
why? Because I'm telling why because
Yeah,
see
okay.
what will happen. So now today they are using some server, SAP server. Okay.
Yeah,
So tomorrow suddenly it is refreshed. Okay. So
okay.
what they want to do again, they will be start with the enterprise structure because they don't know what is the standard plant and what is the standard table, standard materials. Okay. So majorly we will be concentrating on the process wise, right? So
Okay, sir.
if suddenly the server which is down or server which is changed, suppose this server is too slow, then people are looking into some different server and which is working fine. So if they are going with that server, they don't know how to practice PO. Why? Because they suddenly they want to start again with again enterprise structure, company code plan. So they are more interacting on the enterprise structure. And when they started and they finished the enterprise structure, again when we started the P1 PR creation, so most of the time they already spend on the enterprise structure, they will be lose the this interest on the creation of PR and PO. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
No issue.
So anyway, I'll do one thing. Once I will at least I will complete this procurement to play with the standard one. Okay.
Okay.
Then I can go with the enterprise structure. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir. Why I'm saying that the process also will be continue the same thing, right? That is what the
Yeah,
reason.
correct. But what
Yeah.
will be happened? I told right, the server might be
Okay,
sometimes
okay, sir. Okay,
refreshed,
sir.
and whatever all you created plans and company codes, which will be gone. The standard will not be gone, but only customize what you created. It will be everything which will be going out from the server, right? So that's
Yeah,
why.
okay.
So if they have the access, they have an idea about the standard plant and standard purchase organization, what we can do for practicing purpose. Tomorrow, if they are using any other system also, they can use this standard one, right? For practicing purpose. Okay.
Okay, sir. You can continue.
Okay. And okay, so this standard this doc, why? Because there are so many points will come. Okay, it's not only enterprise structure. So somebody is saying that why we need to use NB document type, can we go with this some customized one, we can create our own document type. So like if we started everything, then we'll be stuck in the configuration only, will not be complete my process, right? Yeah, correct or wrong?
Sir, exactly, sir. But obviously, for example, if you are go for the any kind of that implementation, the people will get to understand that the starting of the flow, starting of the implementation process, and any to where we can end up that the process, right? So
Mhm.
that's a reason. Maybe you can give something that like the overall. Maybe when kind of when you are taking talking about this the document type and all, we can consider about the standard, but
Mhm.
this is for major one, right? The maybe the enterprise structure as well as like once you given that the material number, the material also how to create the material, and also it's very important one, and vendor creation also it's very important one.
That's
After that,
why
if you are
see.
going this one,
Yeah, that's why everything it is important. It's not only material master. If I just
Yes, sir,
started with
yes.
master data, I need to be create a material master record, and again I need to explain about the material master, material type, and how it will be controls and how it will be created, configuration. Then again vendor master record, info record, then enterprise structure. Then again we'll be coming to purchase groups and material groups. So everything it will
Okay,
come
sir,
under.
you
Yeah.
can whatever you are, maybe you
Yeah.
can
So
proceed your
let me
things.
complete this P2P cycle. I know
Oh,
what you saying. I understood. Okay,
yeah.
but for practicing purpose, at least if they have some data, okay, they can start to working on the practicing on the creating of POs, multiple POs. Okay, so I will explain that
Okay,
the enterprise structure once this process is completed. Okay, don't
okay, sir.
worry.
Okay, sir.
I will not skip anything. Okay, I will go with each and every step. Okay.
No, no, sir. I don't know. I am not telling like you are
Yeah,
skipping or
yeah,
something like that. I
yeah,
am just telling that if you are continuing the same thing like
yeah,
from
yeah.
the beginning, we will get to understand. That's the
Okay,
reason.
let me
Okay, sir.
complete the P2P cycle first.
Ah,
Okay.
okay, sir.
Then we will go for the configuration.
Okay, sir. You can continue, sir.
Yeah.
No issues. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So now I'm just going to purchase requisition creation. So purchase requisition is nothing but like a whatever you identify the requirement in the in our my client, or it may be under our home. Okay. Some requirements you are identified at. Okay. Okay. So these are the items I need. So the item number I should know about that, and when how much you require, and what is the requirement, how much quantity, and when you require, and what location it is required. So plant address is nothing but like it is a which location. If you want to be, if you created any enterprise structure, that means if you created your own company, like suppose let's say I just created a Tata Steel. So again, Tata Steel have the multiple locations. So Hyderabad branch and Vijayawada and Mumbai, Pune, so Bangalore. So like different branches are there. So those branch address will be maintaining the plant address. Okay. So so now we'll be creating, so for standard purpose, they're giving that code 100-100. Okay. So you can create your own customer, you can create your own material numbers. Okay. And you can create your own vendor number, and you can create your own info record information, and you can do the practice. Okay. Or if you taking long time for this to do, and if you want to be do more practice on the creation of the purchase equation by purchase RFQs, those you can use the standard material numbers also. Okay, so now if you go to the ME51N, okay, let's go to the ME51N. ME51N. Okay, in ME51N, okay, you can enter your material number here. So as I said, we have the standard one, but if you want to still create the some customized one, okay. 1 minute, I'll just call to this guy. This is disconnecting call. Okay, sorry guys. So someone they're using my ID, so that's why I just call to him. Don't use that ID. Okay, so when you just going to the ME51N, okay, in the requisition number, when you're creating the requisition, so here I just entering that what is the material number, the item number, and how much quantity which is required, and where exactly you require that plant address and the delivery date. Okay, the delivery date is looking like when it is required. Okay, suppose let's say I can search in the material search option here. If you click on here, you can go to here and you can find it the materials, whatever the material which is created. Okay, let's say suppose my plant is 1100. Okay, so in this 1100 plant there are so many materials which is created, someone they are created. Okay, so you can use the these materials, any of the one material you can use, or if you want to be create your own customized one. Okay, the own customized material number, you can go to MM01. Okay, and you can create your own material number. Okay, so suppose let's say it is chemical industry and this raw material. Suppose let's say it is a raw material. Okay, so then I'm just creating that what is the basic information and what is the purchasing information. So for level, okay, material management level, if you want to create a purchase request number and purchase order, goods receipt. Okay, so the basic data is important and purchasing data is important, and general data plant one. Why it is required? Because we need to be keep the store in the location, right? Store location. So which location you need to be stock, which location you need to be keep the stock, and accounting one and accounting two. Accounting one, accounting two. Why it is required? Because I need to be informed to the finance team because we bought this stock and these are the raw materials. So this is the stock value. So when you maintaining the accounting data, from the accounting data, it is connected to general ledger account. From finance level, general ledger account, it is connected. So whatever the value you posted at the time of goods receipt invoices, those it will be captured in the finance level as well. Okay, in the back end, that will be posted in the general ledger account. Okay, so that's why we need to be maintain the accounting data 1 and 2. Okay, and
Hello,
as
sir.
you said that, okay, we can create our own customized plant as well. Okay, or you can use the your standard. Okay,
Sir,
you can use your own customized also, or you can create your customized you can standard one also. You can have the 1000 plan and 1100 plan, 1200 plan. So there are so many plans which we SAP provided to you can utilize for the practicing purpose. Okay, but if you still want to be create your own customized enterprise structure, you can create. Okay, so now I'm just entering that what is the material number information. So this material, suppose let's say assume that I'm just creating that pencil. Okay, this pencil is my material number, so I just want to be pencil. Now how you are measuring this one, this pencil, how you are measuring? Okay, might be you are measuring in the each pieces, or it may be each ton. Okay, or it may be each box, or each packet. How your company they are following? So the least measurement in the your store location, that will be considered a basic unit of measure. Okay, why we should not go with the high level unit of measure? Because we are when you are ordering the items, suppose the vendor accepting in the least measurement like in the least measurement like later pieces, he is accepting with the latest pieces. Now but you if you maintain the base unit of measure in the boxes. Okay, then if you want to order one piece of the material item, then 1000 boxes is equal to how many pieces? 1000 boxes is equal to how many pieces? Like one box is equal to how many pieces? Like suppose let's say 10 pieces. Okay, now if I'm ordering to the boxes, but I need one piece, can I order in the one piece in the boxes? If I just want to order the boxes, okay, what is the one piece is equal to how many boxes? Can you know one piece is equal to how many boxes? 0.1.
0.0.
0.01 or 0.1. So right, so in the it will come under decimals, right? So it is very difficult, okay, to order something in the least measurement. So that's why if I just measuring that in the least measurement in my company, that means whenever you're proposing to your client or something, you can go with the least measurement. That least measurement can be is the okay, the least, like if you suppose milk it is there, okay, even it is selling in the latest in outside, some people they will come and they will asking that 500 milliliters milligrams. That means so it is you are selling the latest also, you are selling in the 100 grams, 200 grams, or like you are selling. That means here what is the least measurement? Is it liters or grams?
liter,
1 liter equal how many grams?
ML.
1000, right?
Milliliters.
1000 ml. It may be not grams, ml. Let's say ml. 1000 grams is equal to 1000 ml is equal to 1 liter, right?
Yes.
Is it correct or wrong?
Yes. Sir.
500 ml is equal to half liter, right? 1000 ml is equal to 1 liter. So in this case, what will happen? If I can measure that, okay, I can say that the basin of measure is ml because I can sell 100 ml also, 100 grams also, 100 ml also, or I can sell into 1 liters also. So where what is the exactly least measurement for this material that you need to be considered as a basin of measure. Okay. So let's say this pencil I'm just considering as a pieces. One piece also I can sell and I can sell in the boxes also, or I can sell in the tons also. Okay. And the metal group, the categorize that. Okay, how you can categorize this material like stationery or some miscellaneous items, or so how you want to be measure this the group level that you can mention here. Suppose accessories you can mention. Okay, so like whatever it is, you can you want to be used, you can use. If you want to be create your own customized also, you can create. Still you can create your own customized. So that will come under the configuration level. Okay, so now suppose I'm just going to stationery. If anything which is there stationery. Stationery we don't have anything. Okay. So you want to be create anything with the values, you can create your own values also. Okay, so that's why everywhere if you want to be go on the meaningfully, then we need to be configure at the at equally. We have to be go in the configuration, we have to go in the master data, and we have to go in the transaction data at a time. So some people what they will be confused that what is the configuration, what is the master data, what is the transaction data. So that's why we'll be explaining about the transaction data.
Sir, I have a question actually.
Sorry?
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So, sir, can we customize this base unit of measurement, or we need to pick from this default
Yeah,
unit
we
of
have almost standard, all it is there. Okay, if you want to, you can create customized, but what is the purpose of the creating of the customized one? Did you finding
for
some
an example,
measurements in the,
yeah, for an example, now you created this pencil as a unit of measurement is a piece, correct? So
yeah,
instead of piece, suppose I'm taking as a number for an example.
why you need to
So
take, why you want to be taking the number?
so for an example, my client wants to do like this.
No,
Like
no,
he
there
doesn't
should
want
be some
to do.
meaningful, right? There should be some meaning.
Yeah.
Why? Because this patient of measures and all, it is the measurements which is already everyone standard they are using, right? There is a new something new which is not found, right? So if you want to can create, if you want to create, okay, you can create in the unit of measure. You can create your own also. Okay,
Okay.
so you can create your own and you can say that whatever the configuration which is required, but there is no meaningful if you want to create a own customized uh, patient of measure. Okay, so why? Because these are all standard related. Okay, if you want to create, you can create in the CONI. Okay, you can go and you can create your own customized everything you can create your own customized. Why? Because even someone they created in recipe that we are using as a standard, right? So suppose if I'm just creating as a PC, right? Somebody they say that okay, this PC is equal to pieces in the standard. Okay, if somebody there, if the initial they created as a 01 is equal to pieces, then we are following the same. Okay, so this something they somebody they created. So we can create anything. We can create any of them which is standard to customize. Okay, clear? Is it clear?
Okay.
So we can create. If you want, you can create. No problem. Okay. But there is no useful. If you're creating also, there is no useful. Something which is like the client, especially they are looking. Okay, even if they are looking that if it is not matching with the standard, then you have to go with the customized done. So everything, if you're going with the customization, then what will be happen tomorrow? If somebody they are supporting to that client, so they literally something like he will be pointing that why you are going with this customization thing. Already SAP provided so many standard one. Why you are going with the customization? So they will be point out that even auditing also they will be point out that without a unnecessarily you are creating, you are putting more burden on the your database, creating by customization. Okay, so when the client is asking that, we also need to be understand that whether it is required or not required. If the standard it is there, we can inform that okay, this is the standard we have. You can go ahead with the by using this standard one. Clear? Is it
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Yeah. So everything we should not to accept to our client what they require. We also need to be convinced to them. Okay, you can use this way. We can use. Okay, so we need to be avoid most of the things. Okay, clear? Okay. Now
Okay.
where we are in here, so we want to be stationary, right? So if we don't have any stationary, we can create our own customized stationary. Okay. So if there is a stationary there, we can use the stationary. Okay. Generally, you can go on the by click on create button and continue without specifying the project. So there you can go to and you can create your own defined material group. Or if you want to go in the specifically the configuration level, okay, go to SPRO, and this is whatever we are going into SPRO, this is completely configuration related. Okay, so this is all configuration data. So what we can do, we can go to this defined material groups. So defined material groups, where it is there in the material management, it is there. So we have to go in the material management. Okay, and let's go here. It will come under last article general. Yeah. So it will be come under the last article general. Okay, and so here you can define your own customized metal groups. Okay, so if you want to be create something like stationary, like double line, something which I need to be create, because if it is there or not there, you need to be validate. And I'm just creating that stationary. Okay. So I'm just creating the stationary items so that I can use the stationary items metal group in the metal master card. Okay, now I can enter that my group, which is stationary items, which I created in the configuration level. So whatever it is created in the backend, the configuration level, that will be displayed in the initial. Okay, so one thing you guys you need to be understand here. Okay, whatever it is coming, all the fields, it is not relevant to material management. So some of the fields are relevant to material management, some of the related to purchasing, some of the related to sales, and some of the related to common for everyone, and some of the related to accounting. So like we can have the different fields. Okay, so if you see that sometime what will be happen if I don't have the details of the metal group. So in that case, it is not possible, because if you remember, if you see that in the it is checkbox, it is there, here checkbox is not there. That means the checkbox, whatever it is there, it is mandatory. So you need to be entered that those details. Without these details, you cannot create the metal master card. Okay, so now the metal master card which is creating, so purchasing data which I'm creating. Now if suppose generally when we are buying this product, let's say I'm just buying in the boxes. Okay, so I can search that what is the boxes like. My client, my vendor says they're saying that we are selling this one to boxes. So I can go in the boxes. Okay, then card box or something which is like. Okay, I can enter this one, and which group it is like. Again, the persons like, okay, if there's some person buyer group like stationary, there will be a separate buyer group, and okay, like the person who is responsible for this activities, purchasing these activities, those persons will be entering here. Again, we can create our own customized purchasing groups also. Okay, now I just entered the one box, right? The boxes and piece. Now how the system will understood that how many boxes, the one box is called how many pieces, Okay, then you have to be enter that. Okay, one box is equal to, suppose, let's say 10 pieces. Okay, the conversion, whatever you are entering here, you have to be enter in the, you have to be maintain that those details. Okay, so whatever it is maintained, those details you can see in the additional data. The additional data you can see that, okay, the unit of measures, which is like one PC is equal to one PC, one box is equal to 10 pieces, like we can see that. Okay, and we can also maintain the multiple languages, like different languages you can maintain. Okay, and now I'm just going wherever the mandatory fields. Okay, I'm just entering that wherever the mandatory fields which is there. And this is accounting data. This accounting data, how it is connected to a financial GL account by using the valuation class. So we'll discuss these points separately when we had a discussion about the account determination and especially the particular topic. Okay. Now what I'm doing, I'm just creating the vendor master card. So I created a material number. Sorry, I'm just creating a material number 252. Okay, so now I have the material number 252. Okay, this material number I can use for the my purchasing related. Okay, so I can create purchase equation. Suppose this material is my requirement. So I can go to ME51N and I enter this material number, which is like we have created 252. Okay, so that's 252, and which plant it is like 1100 plant which we created. Okay, and how many pieces? See here, if you see that here, it is coming that 252 pieces. 252 is the material number, and the short description is a pencil. And how you are measuring that? This is you are measuring based on the measure level PC. Okay, and okay, the price. If you have any idea about the price, valuation price, then you can enter the price, the pencil price. It is not vendor price, because I don't know who is the vendor, right? So here the average price of the material, the moving average price of the material. Okay, the average price of the material we have to be entered in the valuation price level. Okay, then if they particularly they have the separate locations, like in the Hyderabad branch, we have the raw materials, we have separately location, and again for the finished goods we have separate locations. Okay, so in the entire building, if you say that okay, I just have the four to five portions are there, I can divide it like each portion for the one component. Okay, one activity. So like here also the location we are creating for the especially for raw material onboarding. Okay, then who is the requisitioner? Okay, suppose Raja is requisitioner. Okay, so who will be requesting this item? Okay, then so now as per my requirement, so my material number is 2252. That is a pencil, and we need 100 pieces. Okay, and when you require it is like 20th. Okay, and the plant and the location where exactly it is required, and the price of the general price of the material. It is not vendor price, it is a normal price of the vendor. Okay, okay, so you can mention here the details in case if it is particularly cost center related. Okay, so then you need to be maintain the for the particularly HR department, finance department, then you have to be maintain the cost center. Okay, so this is the way we'll be creating the purchase equation. So you can create a number of items for this same purchase equation number, like 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Like I can create a number of the multiple materials numbers in the same requirement, and I can create. Okay, so here if you have already vendor number, if you already know about the vendor number, you can enter the vendor number here, the fixed vendor number. Okay, if you don't know vendor number, then you can leave this one and you can proceed for the identification of the next process, the vendor selection. Okay, so if you don't know, then I will be creating purchase request number, and I just created as an internal document number. Is it clear? Any doubts here? How to create a purchase request number?
Sir, please create one more, sir.
Okay, so okay, now I will be going to ME51N. Okay, this is the transaction code ME51N. Okay, and I'm using that. Okay, my material number which is I created 252. Okay, and the plant, okay, 1100, and the store location which is like raw material store location or packing store location, and the requisition like Raja. Okay, and how much required it is. Suppose I need 100 pieces or 1000 pieces which I require, and when it is required. Suppose I just need on the 30th or 20th something. Okay, like suppose it's, I required on 21st. Okay, so all this information which I enter manually, because I know that I said right, the price, sorry, the material number I should know, right, in the purchase request. When you're creating the purchase request number, what information is required, what material you need, how much you need, okay, and when you need, and where exactly it is need. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so here as we discussed that, okay, this is my own customized material number which I created. But other than that, this material number, if I see that plant, store location, purchasing group, okay, those everything, it will be captured automatically uh, from the what we created in the that means what we created in the MetaMaster card, and we standard we can have the already some reference are there. We can use the standard one also, or if you want to go with your customized one every time, then you can go with the customized also. Okay. Now, so anyhow the doubts here. Anyone have the doubts in this purchase request number?
Sir, I have a doubt on this creation of material.
Sorry,
While creating a material, I have a doubt over there.
you have admitted. Okay, just tell me. Can I save this one or can you close?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So I'm just created this purchase request number. So this is the requisition number. Okay. So the requisition number which is there. Okay. Now let's me go to the material master card. Okay. Yeah. Tell me what you want to be seeing in the purchase request.
Yeah, so sir, here as you said, the tick box should be it's mandatory, right? That for an example over here, the base of
Which
unit,
ticket? Which ticket number?
the tick box, no,
Yeah.
the check box.
Mandatory fields. Yeah.
That is mandatory. So over here, as I can see, there are some field which is mandatory and there are some field which is not mandatory.
Correct.
But this is the standard one, right? So for an example, my client wanted this material group as a standard or as a it needs to be checked, before creating a material. So can we change that as well?
You want to be, so it is already mandatory, right?
For an example, the other one, like for an example, the revision is not mandatory. For an
Okay.
example,
Yeah, you can do customization. That's why. So if I just go in the my flow, I can explain that when we creating the metal master card, what is the control, everything I can explain. If someone is coming interpreting that I need the enterprise structure, I need metal master card, then I have to go back and I have to explain. So this metal master card, if you want to create, there are so many I need to be explained before that metal master card. That means how it will be controlled and what fields it is mandatory, how we can restrict this optional and hide, and how the number range, how the number will come. Everything I can explain. So that's why how we will be going in the flow. Okay, initially we'll be starting with the process. Once you can able to do practicing on this process, then we'll be explaining that how it is impacting the configuration level. The configuration steps will be explained.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
Because
Yesterday,
each and every process it will be steps more active, more dependable configurations are there. So now if I'm just explaining again, now if I'm going to the again configuration, like I can say that okay, this field selection again I can explain that okay, in the SPRO this configuration need to be do. So I will be going again Elastic General, then I can go into Metal Master Card again, the configuration. In this configuration again, I will be going the material type and this material type again. Now here, what is the material type it is there, which material type I'm using, plus material type. Okay, in this material type, if you go to inside the material type, they are using this field reference ROH. And again, I will be going the back and again, I will be checking that what field selections which is there and which fields it is mandatory, which fields is not mandatory. And again, I will be going to field selection configuration and I will be going to here. Where is the ROH? Now, which field you want me to do. Suppose let's say purchasing group it is required. So what I can do, I can just go to the what is the field name. Okay. So material group we say, right? So now if you see that here, I just go to this material group. Okay, again this material group. Okay, for your reference, field reference, what is that there? ROH it is there. For this ROH, what is that there in the standard? Okay, so again this ROH which is configured like optional. This material group is optional, but in the standard already SAP suggested that we cannot change this as a optional because this is very important basic information. So that SAP already put it like a required entry. So there are so much background it is there. We need to be explained each and every point. So if I just go in the configuration level starting only, then it is very difficult to you understand the other process. Okay, so here we'll be restricting that. Okay, whether it is optional or mandatory or it is hide. Okay, how you want to be restrict this everything, I can go with by using this selection field, friends. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So yeah, that's why. See, can I go ahead with your my flow, or you want to go with your flows? Let me know. I will go with that.
No, sir. You go with the flow.
Why? Because I just started with purchase requisition number, then I started with material number. I just created again. I just go with the configuration. Then if someone they're asking that I need to create something additionally, then I will be going again configuration. So let's understand first. Let's try to do first process steps. Okay. Then I will explain. Then one step if you completed, you are fully fledged to practice this process. Then I will be explain that. Okay. Why? Because when I'm just explaining about the enterprise structure. Suppose I created a plant, I created a company code, I created a purchase request number. Suddenly, the person who forgot to create the store location, then so he's trying to create a PO, but there is no location created in the configuration level. Then again, he needs to be checked that again first. Okay, I created company, I created company code, I created a plant, I created a purchase, I created a store location. So again, he need to be checked all these details again. Okay, so that's why first we'll be explain the process steps and two easiest to practicing in the PO and creation level. Then we'll be explain the configuration level. Then he understood that okay, we need to be create PO level. Then if I need to create a PO, I need this information. So I can go in the enterprise structure. I can validate. Okay, this I'm creating now. Okay. So let me go with the sequence, then we can explain the enterprise structures and the configuration, everything. Okay. So any concerns, anything?
No, sir.
No? So everyone is okay, right, for this? Can I go ahead, or do you want to be start with the initial like enterprise structure, master data, then entrance of data?
No, sir. You continue.
Okay. The reason why, because I'm telling, I already informed, right? So some people they're not aware about this one. That's why I'm just going in the basic level. Then after that, I will be going the configuration and enterprise structure level. Okay. Okay. So now, so I'm just creating the PO. So I'm just creating the PR. Just I created a PR number, right? So if I just want to go in the display mode, okay, I can go in the ME53N. Okay, I just enter the ME53N. Okay, I can see that, okay, what are the material number which is created, what is the PR number which is created. So if suppose I forgot my PR number, so where I can see this PR number, I can see the reports, okay, whatever the PR purchase request numbers which we created, okay. So in the standard also, in case suppose whatever the PR numbers which you created, if you want to see that, okay, I forgot to see that, okay, the number, I just forgot to remember that number, purchase request number. So what I can do, I can go to the reports. So there is some standard reports are there. Okay, like different purchase list of the display of the purchase request numbers. Like we have different reports are there. So what you can do here, you can go that you can enter your material number, or okay, if there's so many purchase request numbers which is created on the same material number, okay, then you can enter that, okay, when the delivery date it is, like what the delivery date you entered, okay, and what is the plan number which you entered, what is the document type you entered, okay, all these things, all these other details you can enter that here, okay. So apart from this, suppose if I forgot that, if you suppose you need to be captured from the creation date, okay, so this creation date also you can enter here, when it is created and when it is done. So based on the created, so when it is done, suppose let's say today, then execute. So this is the PR number which is I created just now. Okay. So I can see here in this purchase request number, if I just click on this one, I can see display of the purchase request number. I can see the material number and I can see the quantity number. I can see the plant and material group, which is a stationary item, and the delivery date and requisition number, and who created the contact person. Okay. So this ID will be created. So my ID is the 127333310. So okay, 3314. Okay, so by looking this way, we can check that who created and who requisitioner. Okay, everything we can see that. Okay, so this is the purchase request number creation. Okay, so in case suppose you didn't remember that what is the report name. Okay, I forgot the report name. Then what you can see, I said yesterday, we can see in the table level also. So I can go to table name. Okay, EBAN table. EBAN table is the purchase requisition number. Okay, you can find the purchase requisition number from here, and I can enter that the details which is it is there. Suppose today when it is created, it is suppose today. So then I'm just entering that today. Okay, so today so many PRs created. Then how I can justify? I can simplify this one. Then I can enter the material number. Okay, if I have the plan details, I can enter the my plan details. Okay, if I have the store location, if you have the requisition number, requisitioner, then everything I can enter and I can simply execute this one. Then the system will provide that if any purchase request number created with this selection criteria, and then it will be displayed in the table level. Okay, so this is purchase request number. So that's why I just said right yesterday. So along with the transaction code, you also need to be remember the table name for the purchase request number. So here, what is the table T code? What is the T code here? ME 51N for the creation, and 52N is for the change and description, and display the ME 53N. And if you want to see that what are the purchase request number which is created, okay, in the report, then you can go to ME 5A. 5A is a list of the display purchase requisitions. Okay, so I can go with the list of the display purchase request number. Okay, that's and you can go to the table name. Okay, in case if you forget the report name, I can go in the table level. Okay, the table name is EK. What is that? EBAN table. Okay, so this is the standard one. Okay, so why I'm just explaining that when you are creating, suppose you are trying to create something today. Okay, then you want to be cross check that whether it is created or not created. Okay, and where exactly I can see that you can see based on this transaction code. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any questions here? So where we can see this table, the data where we can see the which transaction code. So you have to be go in the SC16N. Okay, SC16N is the T code where we can enter the table name, which represents what the process you posted. Okay, then enter the required details. Why? Because there are so many people, they have created so many purchase request numbers. If you just execute it, then there are so many lists, like 1 lakh, 2 lakhs purchase request will be displayed. So you need to be sorted out that, okay, I can enter the material number, I can enter the searching functionality. We can say this is the search functionality, like we can enter the what exactly you need to be matched and what exactly you need to be find the PR number. So the same way we can find in the table level also. Okay. Now as per my requirement, first I create identify my requirement. Identify the requirement. So I just identified the requirement and I created a purchase request number. In this purchase request number, I clearly mentioned that okay, this is my material number I require, and this is the quantity this is required, and this is the plant, and this is the store location. If you have the information, you can enter all these details. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so the identification of the requirement is completed. Okay, identification of the requirement is completed now. So what is the next step? The identification of the requirement is completed. Now my requirement is the material 100 plan. Sorry, material is 256 material number, 252 material number, and I need the stock which is like 1000 pieces. Okay, and this material belongs to this group and this plant also. So everything I just entered. So now what we need to do in the next step, once I just identify the requirement, the identification of the requirement is completed.
And source of
Identification of the requirement completed and placed in acquisition. Okay. So then what is the next step process?
source of supply.
Source of supply identification. Okay, so identify source of supply. Suppose why we need to identify source of supply, because so source of supply is nothing but like a vendor only. Source of supply, vendor and supplier, all it is the same. Okay, all it is the same. Okay. So now identify the source of supply. So now I have the requirement like this material number 252. Now this is the my requirement like who can supply these goods from the vendors. So there are so many vendors are there in the society. There are like 100 vendors are there, 200 vendors are there. So there are so many vendors are there. So I'm not aware about that who will be supplying this one. Okay, so 1 minute. Okay, so identify the source of supply. So for practicing purpose, we can use the vendors list of the vendors. Okay, we have 1000, 100 like we have. Or if you want to be create your own customized one also, you can create. Okay, let's create. Anyway we need 2 or 3 vendors, right? So let's create that vendor master record. How we can create the vendor master record? So the first thing is we need to go with the vendor master record to creation. So in the standard process, if you want to create the vendor master record, okay, suppose let's assume that, okay, how in the real time it will be happen when the identification of the requirement, okay, the source of supply, when you are finding the vendors, let's assume that we have that outside nearest to your supplier, nearest suppliers are 3 suppliers. Let's assume that 3 suppliers are there. Okay, so these 3 suppliers, they are supplying this whatever the product which we ordered above. So the material number is 252, right? That is 252. Okay, now 3 suppliers are there. These 3 suppliers, they can supply the same product. Okay, now this is first time I'm buying because I just created this product. So this is first time I'm buying. What we are doing, these suppliers also need to be created because this is first time I'm creating, right? So let's assume that there will be a heritage. Or else, okay, Venkatamna stationery. Okay, one is Venkatamna stationery, one is like Banju stationery. Okay, or one is for the can say nearest to something like general store. General store also they are selling this one. So general store also they are selling. Now these are the 3 vendors I have. Okay, so these 3 vendors I should be create in the vendor master record That means in the SAP, I need to create these vendors. Then only I can sending my request for quotation to them, because I should have the material vendor number, right? So we can use the standard also, or we can create our own customized vendor master record. So by creating this vendor master record, what transaction code we are using? We are using that XK01. Okay, so there is a three transactions we have: XK01, MK01, FK01. So we can use any of them. MK01 is for especially for the purchasing data, the vendor, especially for the purchasing data. And if it is a vendor, it is a company code information. If it is required, then you have to go with the FK01. And if you go to with MK01, then it is only for the purchasing data. And if you go to XK01, then it is both purchasing data and sorry, that the purchasing data, whatever it is there, I can create, and I can create the accounting data also. So now let's go to XK01. Okay, so this is the XK01, which is creating vendor master record at the company code level, at purchase organization level. Okay, so whenever we creating the vendor master record, we need to be created at a purchase organization level, because this purchase organization people only, they will be taking care about these vendor negotiations, confirmation of the vendors, and vendor prices, everything they will be discussing about that. And the company code level, why we need the company code level? Because we need to be maintain the bank information and bank details and reconciliation account, GL accounts, whatever it is capturing the information, that will be maintained in the company code level. So in the real time, what will be happen? We have only access for the MK01. So MK01 is the only, I can create only purchase organization data. I cannot create the FI data. Okay, if the finance people, they want to be created, then they can go with the FK01. In the FK01, it will be only company code data. We can create only company code level data. We cannot create the purchase organization data in the FK01. So since we are doing both, right, we are just testing. So I can go with the XK01. I'm just creating that my vendors here. So now first vendor is the first vendor is Venkatramana Stationery. So my company is 1000 company code, and purchase organization 1000, which is especially SAP provided for testing purpose. And again, this is the account group we can use for a customized one and the standard one also. So this account group will be like if it is especially domestic vendor, or he is especially for the import vendor, or he is especially for the service vendor. Okay, so like you can justify that, and you can create your one customized vendor number. Okay, customized vendor account group. That vendor account group we can use for the vendor account creation. Okay, so for testing purpose, I'm just using any of the one vendor account group. Okay, which yeah, please. Hello, any doubts here? Hello.
No, sir.
Okay. So now I will be creating one vendor number. Okay, in this vendor number, so I will just entering that. Okay, this is something Venkatramana Stationery. Okay, so now this is the system. If I just want to be mentioned like such stationery, tomorrow I can find it easily. That okay, by search functionality, I can easily find that okay, these are the vendors from the stationery level. Okay, suppose let's assume that he is from the India and his region like 10. Okay, these are all we can use something Andhra Pradesh, Arunachalam, something like which is states and codes. Okay, so I can use something like see somebody they create which is like customized. So there is already standard. It is there. They already create a customized. Okay, so we can create our own customized also. Okay, so 01 is the Andhra Pradesh. Now I'm just entering that here. You can enter the bank details. You can enter the contact persons how we can contact and which is a reconciliation account. This is the finance related account company code data. So in the real time, this company code data will be created by finance team. So don't worry about that. Which GL account you have to be entered with GL account. But practicing purpose, you can create your own own vendor number. So you can use this reconciliation account for the practicing purpose. Okay. Now I'm just entering that all these details, and the currency will be INR. He is the dealing with the currency INR, and the salesperson from their side, suppose let's say Kiran. So Kiran is a something like and there is a phone number here. So like you can enter the details terms of is there any payment terms and Incoterms and minimum order value. So this will discuss about the when we're talking about the master data. Okay. Now I'm just creating that. Okay. So I'm just creating the vendor master card. So there is a 28 vendor number which is created. One is the vendor number 28. Okay. So I can see that the display has I said that if you want to go with the display of the vendor master card, you can go with XK03. Instead of going with XK01, you can go into XK03. So like you can create for the Byju's and you can create for the general stores also. Okay, let me create that also. So this is also category of stationery, and I'm just entering the country, and let's assume that I'm just entering that some 02, okay, which is from the different country like Arunachalam, okay, Arunachal Pradesh. Before that I created for the Andhra Pradesh, now Arunachal Pradesh. So like whatever the details which is mandatory I can create, okay, and now I can enter the details and terms and conditions. Suppose the payment terms, what will happen if you pay the amount immediately. So if you selected 0001 for this vendor, that means whenever you just created an invoice, you need to be paying immediately the amount. Okay. Okay. Or within a 30 days due net. That means, okay, if you created today purchase orders and you received the goods receipt, you created the invoice. From the creating the invoice from the invoice creation, okay, the payment terms, based on the payment terms, you have still have the 30 days to pay the amount. So like the payment terms you can enter here, okay, and at the incoterms are the nothing but like a how like if it is a freight related or cost related and insurance freight and free on board free freight. So this is just like information like vendor is saying that okay, you don't need to be pay any amount for the freight which is a free freight, okay, insurance free freight. Then you can enter this standard one, or if it is customized one you can create a customized also. Then you can enter here, and that will be come under the output to PO output, and you already explained that okay, this is the free freight cost, so you need to be, they will not be charged for the any amount for the transportation, okay, onboarding transportation. So like we can enter the details, okay. Now I'm just creating that. So here this is the partners related, okay, we'll discuss about this partners separately. Now 29 also is created, 28 29 created. Now I am just creating one more which is like a gray general stores. Okay, now this is also stationary. Okay, let's say something which is like Rajasthan, Sikkim, Tamil Nadu or something, which country it is like, you can create, you can enter the details wherever it is required. Okay, and okay, again, if it is abroad, you can create your own customized. So you can use the standard currency type. Okay, if you are already have the currency, if it is already mapped, then you can use the same currency. If it is abroad, then you can use the abroad currency. Okay. So this is 30. So now 20,
what is
20, yeah.
So what is the purpose of using a partner functions here?
Partner functions will be creating for the, if suppose you are the vendors, you are the supplier, but you have the
Yeah.
partners like, okay, you are taking the orders, but this order you are not supplying. Someone they are supplying from your partner. Okay, like Amazon. So Amazon they are taking orders, but he will not be supply the goods to the person. So who will be sending these goods might be from the some other partner from your end only. The partner they are sending these goods to your place. Okay, so then goods supplier will be different. Ordering address will be different. That means once you create a purchase order, this purchase order will be go to the particular order who will be taking orders. Okay, who will be taking, like imagine he is taking order, but the supplying will be done from the some other party, some other some other partner. Okay, he also partner for the vendor. He is also partner for the main vendor. So that is a separate concept like partner determination. Okay, so the concept, it is nothing but like a within the same company, might be they are having the multiple partners. One partner has a working as a goods supplying, he will be taking care about the goods supplying goods. Okay, one person is taking care about the invoice generation. That means the other person will not be involved in the while generating the invoice. Only this person, the partner function who will be responsible for this accounting, he will be taking care about the creating of the invoice. Okay, so like that means for the same vendor have the multiple partners. Okay, suppose let's say assume that okay, in your home you are ordering some product. Okay, but payment will be happen from the your father. So that means your father is your partner. Like okay, he is like suppose if your father is ordering, but you are receiving the goods, so you are the partner for him. Okay, so like in the biggest companies also, the payments and invoice will be generated from the some other third party. They are the partners for this company. Okay, so do you know that Wells Fargo? Anyone have the idea about Wells Fargo? Wells Fargo company. So it is financial services. What they will do, they will be taking care about all the financial uh, connectivities in the your client side. They will be taking care about the payments. They will be taking care about payments, acceptance, receivables, all these things, and they will be finally giving to the company. So I'm just he's my partner. Okay. So did you got it? What is the partner function?
Yeah. Yes, sir. But in MM perspective, where exactly we are applying this scenario, sir?
We'll discuss this point in the partner determination. The PO, when you creating PO, I will show you that PO. Okay, in the PO, when you creating PO, when this PO created after this purchase order information, whether it should be go to the your main vendor or some other vendor.
Okay.
Okay, that means I'm ordering to the main vendor only, but as per their partner, he is not taking orders. He is not taking orders. Someone he is representing this guy. He is a partner of the XYZ vendor, and he is taking the orders. That means these POs, whatever we created, that information will go to the some other vendor who is a partner, like goods supplier. So when we receiving the GR, we will not be receiving from the who to whom we ordered. Someone does XYZ, who is the partner, he is supplying the goods to me.
Correct.
Okay. So like PO level, the vendor is different, GR level, the vendor is different, invoice level, the vendor is different, payment level, different vendor. Okay. The main vendor will be the same, but the partners are different. Okay. So this might be have the scenario, right? Partner function. So that will be a process of the partner determination. Okay. So I will show you in the partner determination when we are discussing about the partner determination, how this vendor number will be displayed in the PO level, how it will be displayed for the GR level, invoice level. I will show you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now I created these vendors, right? 28, 29, 30, right? Which we have created. So the vendor numbers are 29, 30. Okay. Now, as per the my requirement, I have the requisition and I have the vendors. Okay, who is the nearest suppliers? But I know 3 vendors, but I could not able to find who is the best vendor. So for this, what we are doing, we are following that. We are raising the request for quotation to each vendor. That means RFQ, RFQ1. Suppose RFQ is nothing but like a request for quotation. Okay. So request for quotation, I'm just sending this information, boss. I need this material. Can you supply this material? So I'm just giving that one some reference ID, that is RFQ number, like something XSS something. So something which is like XSS1. Okay. Again, for this which we are created for the 28 vendor 28. Okay. This is the RFQ number. RFQ number. Okay. Again, I will be creating the second RFQ also, which is same above purchase request number, which is requirement, but my vendor is just something like 29, and my quotation number is vendor which is 2. Okay. Then again, which we are creating one more RFQ number. Okay. This RFQ number again, which created by a third RFQ number, which like RFQ number is 3, 10, a vendor number which is 30. So 3 vendors, I just send this information, boss, I need this stock. Can you get my some information about this material, how much the price and what is the price quotation? Can you send this information to me? Okay, if I have the multiple vendors, I can send for the multiple vendors. If it is open bidding, then I can announce in the paper. If it is open bidding, I can announce in the TV. Okay, so whatever it is might be, it is a bidding process. Okay, so in the RFQ creation, the next process is RFQ creation. This RFQ creation I will be creating for the each and every vendor, and with reference to the purchase request number, the above requirement. Okay, so any doubts here? Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay. Now what we'll do, I will be creating the RFQ for the this purchase by using this purchase request number. I'm just creating the RFQ and sending this information to vendor. Boss, can you send me this information to me? Okay. So now I will be creating the ME41. ME41 is the request for quotation. So the transaction code to create the purchase RFQ quotation is RFQ. The request for quotation is ME41. ME41 is for the creation of RFQ, and ME52 is the RFQ change, and ME53 is the display RFQ. Clear? ME42 is for change, and ME43 this is for display. Okay, this is for RFQ, this is a display. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm just going to RFQ, and I need to be mentioned the deadline, right? Because I'm requesting here the price information from the vendor. But if he is keeping on hold, and after 6 months, 8 months, if we didn't get the information about this one, then obviously that we can terminate that guy, and it is already too much delay, and you are not responding, you are not informing anything. Okay, then we'll be mentioning that, okay, this quotation deadline, like before this quotation deadline, you need to be send your price quotation, price after your quotation. Okay, so that I can mention, like if suppose my requirement is on 28, right? Let's assume that by before 19, by before 19, I need to get the information about the price details. Okay, so till 2 days I will be waiting for you, and if I didn't get this information from this vendor, then I can terminate that vendor. Okay, this vendor is not valid. He's not sending any information. So I can go with the other 2 vendors. Okay. So again, now the purchase organization, who is the responsible, and who will be the purchasing group, everything we can enter. And this collector number is for the if any, especially any request for quotation number, any project number, or any requirement number from the your colleagues, or maybe the sales order information, any requirement from the store department, that requirement number for tracking purpose. So this we can track at the time of ending, we can have the multiple RFQs. When we comparing all these quotations, instead of entering the one by one quotation number, I can compare the all together in the single slot. Okay, so that I can enter the sequence number. So what I'm doing here, I'm just collector number, I'm entering that 999999. Okay, finance, this is the collector number. Let's assume that this is my requirement number. Now by manually entering this detail, what you can do, after entering this all details, you can click on the reference to the purchase request number. Once you click on the reference to purchase request number, okay, you can enter the purchase request number which you created. Okay, so what's the purchase request number you created here? ME 53N. Okay, I can go to 53N, and what is the my purchase request number which I created? This is my purchase request number which is created. I have to go again in the ME5 a table it is open. No, not it. Okay, let's go to table. Table is very easy. So this is the purchase request number. So this purchase request number I can enter, and how many items are there? You can enter the item number. Okay, if you have 10 items, 20 items, you can enter the 20 items the item number, or you can just enter the PR number. You can enter. Okay, then collector number which I discussed just now for reference number, and here it is copying all the details from the purchase request number. In this purchase request number, this is the material number, and this is the pencil, and this is the plant store location, and this is the quantity which is required, and this is the delivery date. Okay, so then I'm just selecting this one and click on adapt the details. Yeah, these are the details are correct. Okay, then once I enter these details, okay, I'm just selecting that who is the my vendor address. Okay, so here you can see the vendor address here. First you need to save this one. Okay, so you need to be enter the vendor. So to whom I need to send this RFQ number. So I'm just entering that. Okay, first vendor name is number is 28. So 28 number. So this 28 is the I think it is Venkatramana stationery. So I'm just sending this RFQ details to this guy. Now it's created one RFQ number. Okay. So the RFQ number which is generated to this RFQ number, it's generated for the this vendor. Okay. Now again I'm just going to the next one which is 29, which will be have a Binjus stationery. So I just created this one and I'm saving this one. So again, new RFQ number which is created for this vendor. Okay, and this information which is created now. Again, now the third one is which is like 30th. 30th is the vendor for reference. I'm just creating that. Okay, and gender stores. Okay, so now I'm saving this one. So there are 3 RFQs which is created for the same requirement. Okay, so the RFQ which we send to vendor. Okay, so generally what will be happen when you're creating the RFQ quotations or anything. Okay, there will be a output is there. Okay, so here you can see like you can generate the output here. So that output will be we can configure the output determination. So in this output determination, what will be happen? Okay, let's go to ME42, ME43, which we created just now, the RFQ number. Okay, so here what we can do, we can take it up the output. Okay, for this whatever the output you want to be generate, you can take the output. Okay, so here the messages are not maintained here. So in the output determination, they will maintain. What will be happen if you maintain this one? Okay, I will show you. I will maintain something for this. Suppose I'm just maintaining the information. So this is again a separate topic. Okay, output determination. So here there is options like how you want to do. So do you want to be send this taking output and print out and you can send, or you can take the fax, or you want to be generate like telex or anything which is like EDI or something. This is completely new topic which is output determination. How the medium how you are using to communicate to the your person. Okay, that you will be selecting here, and here there is option like further data. There is a send immediately or send application with own transaction. If you have selected this own transaction, that means okay, you need to be run manually this output. Okay, if you selected the fourth one, what will be happen? The system automatically process this one. Okay, so here the printer configuration here, which printer you need to be used and how much how we want to be generate this printer in this real time, and we are saving this one. Okay, so this RFQ which will be which will be done output. Okay, so you can see here this is generated. If it is green color, that means this is already taken to output. Okay, it's going to somewhere. Okay, so it is going to your nearest device, output device like printer. What is the configure here? Okay, so in case if you want to go with the PDF format, okay, this is a standard process, but in the customized process again it is different. Okay, so in this case, what you can do, okay, in the output determination, what you need to enter. You need to be you can enter the LOCL output. This is the standard one for LP01 LOCL. We can take it up for the printout. Okay, if you have the customization, you can go with the customization. And I'm just selecting the 4. It's okay. Then I'm saving this one. Now this RFQ number which is generated for the output. Okay, the PO output will be generated, and we can take it up the printout also. Okay, so we have the transaction code to generate this one. Okay, separately we can have the transaction like ME9A. Okay, here you can take it up the output here. Okay, so it is already generated, right? That's why it is green color, right? That's why it won't be allowed to regenerate. So I can put it like processing status as a regenerate. Let me try successfully processed. So this is already successful process and it is already taken. So you can see that the output like, okay, this is RFQ number, this is the vendor number, okay, this is the vendor details, and this is the material number in the down, and plan delivery time, and it is a quotation deadline. Okay, all this information which is there in the basic level. But in the customized level, customer is using some customized level output type, then they have to be configured in the output determination process. Okay, so now these RFQs we send to the user vendor, and we planning to receive this quotations from our vendor. Okay, so we will be waiting for a few minutes, and will be, suppose let's assume that I got the requirement from I got the confirmation from the my vendors. They are sending this quotation, price quotation, everything. So what we'll do immediately, I will be going to the ME47. Okay, then I will be maintaining one by one. What is the price of each and every quotation? Okay. So let's assume that the vendor is saying that, okay, there is a price which we get that, okay, like suppose 100 boxes, right? Each box will be like 200 rupees. Suppose let's say 200 rupees. Okay, so this is the price which I got from the 28th vendor. Okay, now vendor 100. Suppose the quotation 100. Okay, this is the 29 vendor. Then again I'll be go to these details, and I'll be entering that, okay, the price is like 110 rupees, but he said that there will be a freight charges like to supply these goods to your location, they will be charging for 10%. Okay, so so actually 110 rupees, but there is also be freight charges like 1.10. So the effective price is like 121 rupees. Okay, 121 rupees like. Okay, so that is the like, so either it may be the only basic price, or it may be freight charges, it may be like other charges also, labor charges, unloading, loading charges, everything. Okay, so like we are maintaining that each and every vendor. Okay, and we will be maintaining like, okay, this guy he is sending for 90 rupees, and but he said that, okay, they will be have the discount also. If you have the discount details also, you can enter the discount details. So in this conditions, what you can do, you can go to here, and you can maintain the what is the price of the product, and also you can enter that if you have any discussions on any other charges like okay, like freight charges, freight conditions, and discount charges, and any job related, then you can enter those freight conditions here. Okay, now Now, if you see that I just maintained all these RFQs, each RFQ, each one RFQ had a similar, different prices. Okay, so when the prices are different, so when we're comparing all these quotations, the system will give the best price quotation, which is like who will be the best price. So who in this location, if you see that the quotation one, okay, which we maintain like 100 rupees, right? And the second one is which we are maintaining like 110 rupees or something, 100 rupees plus some freight charges, right? So like everywhere we are maintaining the charges, everything. So they will be doing, we are maintaining this all into ME47. ME47 is maintained quotation. Okay. So ME47, once you maintain ME49, what you need to do, you have to go to ME49. In the ME49, you have to be price comparison report. Okay. So I just maintained all the quotations, right? The prices. Now what I'm doing, I'm just going to ME49. Okay. Here I need to be entered all the RFQ numbers, right? All the quotation numbers, and I just need to be compared all the quotation numbers. So instead of quotation numbers, so instead of the quotation number, why? Because if suppose I have the 20,000 quotation numbers are there, entering all the quotation numbers is very difficult, right? So I have the already reference ID number, quotation, that is a collective reference number. So that collective reference number I can enter. What is the collective collective number? Did you remember that? What is the collective number? Is that something
99?
So this 9999 I will be enter here. Okay. Then the system will be checking that what are the RFQs which is created with the same ID number. It will be represent, and it will be checking the cross checking that all the price comparison. Now here you need to be check that whether what I need to be validate, whether I need to be validate discounts for effective price and discounts such as okay. So all these things we need to enter, and I just comparing that. So these are the quotations we are maintained 99, 100, 101, and 28, 29, 30 the my vendors, and the prices which we see that each and every vendor have a different prices. After calculating all the effective prices, everything, finally it is saying that okay, you have to go with the 30 vendor because this is the very less price. It's after final value, it is like 113 rupees 92 paisa. Okay, so it is giving the best price that okay, you have the rank one, it is there, it is 30 vendor. So after comparison, you can just see that okay, these vendors, the confirmation vendor, finally we decided that to whom I need to go with, to whom I need to order the product. Okay, so that is the who is the vendor? Who is the vendor? The best vendor is 30. So the vendor number is 30. Okay. So the other vendors, if you want to reject the other vendors, you can go and you can reject that because we are rejecting indicator. So you can select the reject indicator. Okay. So that means these vendors are, these RFQs are we rejected because the price is too high. Comparing to others, it is very high. So these two vendors are the rejected, and other vendor you can accept this one by generating the PO. Okay, so you can inform that you can take the output and you can generate that. Okay, RFQ sending the output like okay, sending this information to the vendor. We selected this is the vendor, this is the best vendor, so we are creating the purchase order for this vendor. So now I have the quotation number, right? By using this quotation number, I can create the PO. So till we understand that we created a requisition number, and the second one is we created the RFQ and we maintain the quotation. Okay, that quotation anyway depends on the vendors, so how much the price they're sending. Then we compare all the prices, all the vendors. Then finally we decided that vendor 30 is the best vendor. Now what is the next step? So the vendor also selected. So I have the material number, I have and material number I have, quantity I have, vendor I have, okay, and the delivery date I have, the plant address I do have. So which document we need to be go ahead for the next one? Purchasing order. Purchasing order will be created next time by using the above purchase request number. Okay, so this purchase request number we are using and we creating the purchase order. So that purchase order creation is transaction code is ME21N. Okay, now did anyone get the doubt? So which table it will be stored, this RFQ and quotation and all? This will be stored in the EKPO. In this EKPO, okay, what you can do here, it will be storing that all the purchasing document like which is related to on-site, okay, which is a vendor related, okay, what are the RFQs which is created. Now let me go to that. We can go in the EKKO table, which is header level, and in the header level I can enter that what are the when it is created. So I have created 3 RFQs, 99, 90, 100 and 100, and these POs somebody they created. So sir, how we can just justify that whether it is a normal PO or it is just a different POs or it is maybe RFQ or quotation based on the this status category. Okay, so sorry, not this one. Okay, you can see here the document category. In this document category, F it will be like purchase order, A should be RFQ. Okay, so based on this category, you can identify that this is the RFQ or it is a purchase orders or it is purchase. Okay, in its credit agreements or contracts. So it will be stored EKKO table. EKKO is the header level. EKPO is the item level. So header level is nothing but like who is the vendor and who is the company code, address, any text we need to be captured, anything. So all this information we can enter in the header level. Okay. So all company code information, enterprise structure information, all it will be there in the header level. The item level information, it is especially for the material when you required and how much you required and whether you confirm that when it is required. Okay. So that will be done in the item level. Okay, now I'll be going to the creation of the PO, purchase order creation, ME21N. In the ME21N, what I will do, as I discussed that instead of entering the all this information, because I have already reference number, so I can go with what I can go to RFQ number. I can directly enter my RFQ number. So this RFQ number will be helpful to get all the information from the purchase request number and quotation number. Okay, and it will be given that, okay, see here for this RFQ number, this is the material number which is required, and this is the box which is required, this is the price which we decided. So all this information which we already captured, right? So it's the same information which is displaying now here. Okay, so in the purchase order, nothing to do with anything, nothing to do. So we just need to check that, okay, who is the plant and who is the company address. Okay, so the address, communication address, and who will be the plant address, everything we need to be entered. So the organization data, which is like purchase organization, purchasing group, and the company code, these are all at the high level only. From our MM point of view, we need to be understand that highly, which is like only for the plant and company code and purchase organization plant. Majorly it is like plant and purchase organization. Okay, sometimes you can add into the additional information which is like what we receive the stock, like okay. So if anything which is other company code related, you can enter the details. Okay, so if you want to be enter the other details, you can enter here. Is it clear? So this is the purchase order. Now vendor address, you can see that. Okay, the vendor information, whatever it is there, you can see that the general stores, okay, the stationery item, and the country, and who is the region. Okay, so all this information you can see in the address detail. Okay, and the partners I said, right? Okay, if you have the especially partners, separate partners are there, you can maintain that who will be the ordering address, who will be the invoicing present by, who will be the goods supplier. That you can maintain separately here. Okay, and we'll be creating the PO. Is it clear how to create a purchase order?
Yes, sir. But little bit lengthy process. If we practice only, it will be clear, sir.
Yeah, that's why instead of we are going into the all this above master data, if I just going with the step by step PR and PO creation, RFQ creation, then once you started to practice what we explained, then we can go with the what we customized. Okay. So this is the way we are creating PO. Okay. I think it's almost 2 hours now. So if everyone is okay, we can continue, or we can drop and we can continue tomorrow. I thought that everyone blank only today. Most of the people. Did you understand these process steps? What we did for everyone?
Yes. We need to practice this.
For everyone?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah. Yes, please.
is it,
Sorry, in case I'm talking rashly, but why? Because I know that how to explain these steps. Okay, so initially, if you are aware about this step by step, okay, once you started to practicing that, then I can explain to the master data and the configuration data how it will be helpful to you. Okay, so because if I just sequentially, if I just explain the configuration data and the master data and transaction data, you'll be confusing that which one I need to be do practice, which one I don't need to be do practice, and they will be confused that what is the configuration data, what is the master data. Okay, so that's why initially I will be go with the transaction data, then I will be go with the functional master data and configuration data. Okay, I know if I just explain the first configuration data, master data, that is very helpful to the other transaction. But people who are started just now, they will be have the blank in your mind, because if I just directly go to the configuration, they will not be get some um, that much interest to create the enterprise structure, that much interest to create the middle master instead of creating the purchase orders. That's why we will be going first initially the basic things. Okay. Yeah, someone is talking about, sorry. Any questions here? Any questions?
sir, one
No,
option
sir.
is getting, sir. Hold option, what it is, sir?
Sorry.
On SAP screen, we're getting a hold option, sir. Hold option.
Okay, hold option in the top
What
when
it
you
is?
creating, right? When you
What it is,
creating,
sir?
right? Hold. Okay, so suppose you're creating P1. Suppose let's say there is a 200 items are there. You just entered all the items and you are planning to create. For one item, let's say there is a error. That means maybe you don't know what is the price, or maybe you entered wrongly something, the information which is required. Only for that item purpose only, I just this entire pivot is on hold. Okay,
Oh.
so what I can do, I just putting on hold. Even this error also I can put in on hold. Okay, later I can come with the other details and I can continue with the same pivot. Okay, if I don't have this option hold, what will be happen? I can skip it. I can have to be skip that item number, or I have to come back from entire pivot out, and again I need to get the information and I have to create again 200 items. So it is a hold purpose. Okay, even if it is any error is there, we can keep it. We can keep it in hold. Okay, is it clear?
Oh.
Okay, so especially for the hold purpose, this is actually we don't have this option in earlier. To if you see 5 years, 6 years back, we don't have this option. Latestly, they are implemented that the upgrade they are giving this option like hold. So the reason why, because in the while creating pivots in the large number of items, okay, if suddenly there is a one item which we are getting error message, okay, the system is not accepting to delete that line item, and the system not accepting to entering that any other information. Those cases, what we can do, we can keep it on hold, and we just finding the solution for that, and we just rectified it, and we can go furtherly to create a purchase order. Instead of I'm just creating manually again. Okay, I can use the same whole PO number.
Is there any separate transaction code for searching hold?
No, we don't have. We can have all these details. We can find it in the table level. If it is hold, then you can see that this hold details, or you can report level. You can find it. Okay, what is the PO number which is created? Whether it is completely created or it is in hold, that status level you can see. Okay. Clear? So there is no separate transaction code for that. You have to come in the ME22N only. You have to come in the ME22N. This is for the change. Okay. Here you have to be entered your PO number. Okay. Clear? Is it clear? So there are so many options out there finding the PO number by using the if suppose I created with the material number, I can find the based on the PO material number what are the POs I created. So like supply plant, or it is quotation, RFQ tracking number, like we can find so many such functionalities which is there. You can find the PR number, or there is a one more, like we can find the from the report level also. If you go to ME2N, okay, ME2N is the one report we can find the what are purchase document number which is created today. Suppose the document date today is created. So I can enter the document date here, and I just executing this one. Then if any PO number which is created, okay, this okay. Any PO number which is created, it will display. Okay, so this is the PO number which I created general stores. Okay, for 30 vendor. Just now I created, right? Pencil. This is the PO number which is created. So that the report level I can find, or I can go from the table level I can find, or I can go directly in ME22N. Okay, by searching in the by click on here. Okay, and I can go F4. And I can find the PO number. Can find the PO number from the list. Okay, and there is a one more way also you can go. Document overview on. Click on document overview on here. Okay, you can find here my purchase orders. So if I just selected my purchase order, whatever the purchase orders which I created, it will display. It won't be display all the purchase order number. It will be display what I created. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so don't confuse that. Okay, try to do step by step. Okay, again I will explain this process step one by one. Okay, so if everyone is okay, we can continue. We'll continue now. End of half an hour. Or if you want to stop and we'll continue tomorrow, we can stop tomorrow.
We can continue tomorrow.
We'll continue tomorrow.
Enough, sir.
Continue tomorrow, sir.
Okay. So today nothing happened. Only ME51 and purchase request number, RFQ, quotation, and price comparison, PO creation. So can you do this practice?
Okay,
Can
sir.
you do this one? Practice.
Yes, sir, we will try.
So I think I heard that you also have the same server. Okay. So I think we just check that if you have the same server or different server. If it is the same server, so you can use the same material number and okay. If you just check that this is the server number you have, a different server number. Is it same number or different number? Previous number. Just check your ID server. If it is same number, okay, just try to do creating by using whatever I did today, the same details, just enter and create a purchase request number, purchase RFQ and purchase order, okay, comparison, everything. By doing this process, you just try to do the multiple line items, multiple prices, multiple condition types, like you can just try that, okay, and you come back tomorrow. Clear? And
Okay, sir.
so the table names you also need to be remembered, guys. Okay. So purchase requisition, it is a IBAN table. Okay. And IBAN table. And for this RFQ and purchase order, everything it will be stored in the only one table. That is a EKPO, EKPO table. These two, this is the both. It is the same for the RFQ and it is for the same for the PO, the table name. But how you can justify, how you can identify whether this is RFQ or it is a purchase order based on the document category. In this document category, you can find that, okay, whether it is a RFQ or it is a purchase order, it is contract or schedule agreement, that you can identify here. Okay, clear? Okay, and try to create a material number also. Anyway, we just created a material number, right? Just to try to create a vendor number and a material number. Okay, and use your material number and vendor number for practicing purpose. Okay, so what you need to do,
Okay.
your assignment today. What is the assignment today?
Try to
Create material number. Okay, and create vendor number. Okay, then create purchase requisition. Okay, with multiple line items, single line items, okay, large amount, large quantity, anything whatever you want. Then create RFQ with reference to PR and maintain quotation. Then price comparison. Then purchase order creation. So these are the points we have discussed today. So try to complete this by today, practicing. Okay. So any doubts in these steps? Any step you want to be looking at, or you want to be any stuff which you are still not understand? You want to be do? Okay. So
While
what
practicing,
time
we'll
tomorrow?
get the doubt.
We have
Tomorrow evening, sir.
evening.